I'm Scott Justice from the Justice Law Office. If your workers' compensation claim has been filed and is in litigation, the insurance company's attorney will schedule your deposition. This happens in every comp claim and is a very common part of the normal process. It doesn't mean that your case is bad or that something has gone wrong, but it is an important step in your case. So, what is a deposition? A deposition is just a question and answer session between you and the defense attorney that takes place under oath. They will ask you a series of questions, one at a time, and you will answer them to the best of your ability. Every deposition is different, and while no one can tell you exactly what you're going to be asked, I can tell you that the vast majority of the questions you will hear will fall into four major categories. The first is basic personal information and background. In addition to the very basic information like your name, date of birth, etc., you should be prepared to talk about your family and community connections, hobbies, and social activities. If you have a criminal history, you will need to discuss this with your attorney prior to the start of the deposition. The second category concerns your employment history. Most attorneys will start with the first job that you can remember and work their way forward in time. For each employer, they will want to know the approximate dates of employment, what your job duties were, the physical requirements of that position, and how your employment ended. They will also cover the job in which the injury occurred. You should be prepared to talk about the specific details of your job. If you feel like you would have difficulty returning to that same type of employment or specific position, you will need to explain why that is. So be prepared to tell us what parts of your job you can no longer do. The third category concerns the injury event itself. This line of questioning will cover everything from how the injury happened to the symptoms you felt at the time. Be prepared to talk about the actual mechanism in detail. If you fell, for example, you may have to explain how you landed, which body parts hit the ground, etc. You will also be asked to describe the physical sensations that you felt, where they were located on your body. The fourth and final category will cover your medical history and treatment. This will cover both treatment before the injury and after the injury, and will not be limited to doctors or facilities you have seen relative to this claim. The defense attorney will be very interested in any physical problems or injuries that you have had in the past, especially if they were similar to what you are experiencing now. If you have had any problems in the past with the affected body parts you are claiming as a part of your claim, it is very important to discuss those with your attorney before the deposition starts. Keep in mind that these categories are general guides and questions may or may not come in this order. It is not uncommon for attorneys to skip around or revisit questions multiple times. When preparing for your deposition, keep in mind the following ground rules. Be honest and tell it like it is. Don't exaggerate or sell yourself short. The quickest way to lose your case is by not being honest with the judge who will ultimately read your deposition and decide your claim. Listen to the questions carefully and answer only what the question calls for. If it is a yes or no question, give a yes or no response unless doing so would be misleading in some way. Do not volunteer information. This is not your opportunity to win your case. Make sure you understand the question before you answer it. If you do not understand or did not hear the question, say that you don't understand or that you did not hear it. Do not answer a question that you do not understand. This is not a memory contest. If you don't remember something, you can say that you don't remember. Likewise, if you don't know the answer to a question, saying I don't know is perfectly fine. Keep in mind your deposition should take around 1 to 2 hours. You can take breaks as needed. Finally, if you have anything that you think your attorney should know about, bring it up before the deposition. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and good luck in your deposition.